what is currently going on with the Dallas-Fort Worth housing market, how is the recession going to affect us here, and is the recession even as bad as people say it is? Is it a good time to buy? Is it not? We're going to discuss all these things in this video, so make sure to stay to the end, you guys, so you guys don't miss any vital information. Hey guys, my name is Shanza and you're watching the Life in Dallas channel, where we talk about all things living in the Dallas metro. And I am a real estate agent here, so you can most definitely reach out to me with any of your buying or selling needs. Even if you're not in Dallas, I can most definitely help you. Let's discuss the current state of the market. So let's look at some of the statistics here. So let's actually look at the new listings for this year. So as you can see that we've had, a nice increase in the amount of listings that we had, but just know that we still have a very low inventory. The low month of supply that we have here in a normal market, it's a 6-month supply. So let's just clear this out, that now the Dallas-Fort Worth metro does have a housing shortage. Right now, sellers don't have too many options. They don't have the upper hand like they did. A lot of sellers are offering concessions. They're offering to buy down your rate, and they're willing to be, open to negotiation versus before, where everything was like if you don't buy from me, I'll get my other buyer to buy. And just want to preface this, that this is kind of like what a normal market looks like. It's still on the seller's side, technically speaking, but it's starting to become more normalized, and that's because of the high interest rates. Look at these days on market. They're starting to rise as well. Dallas County risen 50%, Tarrant 83%. Wow, Collin County, that's 15 average days on market compared to around 5 in the beginning of this year and last year as well. So the days on markets are starting to come up. Look at the sales price, because a lot of people are saying the sales price is falling, which is true. If you could see that, the average sales price has fallen as well. Wow, Dallas County 20%. You guys do know how inflated these prices were in the last couple of months, right? So it's just starting to correct. It would be really abnormal for these prices to continue to go kind of like in a parabolic way for that long without any type of correction. These type of corrections are healthy and they're normal in markets, whether it be real estate, stocks, other type of financial markets. These type of corrections are absolutely normal. People are pricing their homes wrong. They're pricing their homes according to comps that were sold several months ago when the market was clearly a little bit different. So that's like the worst mistake you can make, is overpricing your homes. But a lot of sellers are really difficult to work with, because they're just like, I want this much for my home and I just want it. It stays on the market for longer, and then you see all these price decreases. And a major factor also is because of these price cuts, is because we don't have a lot of buyers on the market right now. And a lot of people that were trying to buy during the summer, they couldn't, and they are renting now that school started, their kids are in school. So we'll probably see some traction here later at the end of the year, coming next summer. That's when lots of people that rented right now, they're going to be back on the market to buy. And I really want to put this out there, because there's so many people who literally qualify right now, but they're so scared of the recession and all these news media outlets saying this and that they're kind of backing down from buying. Just know that if you were ready, approved for a certain amount, whatever the case is, and something happened and you just didn't want to go forward with it, let me tell you this, like if you look at like 2-3 years in the past, do you see home prices depreciate? No. Every year you see home prices are just going to continue to appreciate up to 5 to 8% typically is what you can expect here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, depending on, what city that you're in. Now let's talk about the recession. The textbook definition of a recession: 2 consecutive quarters of declining GDP equals a recession. Every single time in history we had that, we always had a guaranteed recession. Now, there's a lot of articles saying that we're heading towards a recession. A lot of articles saying this is going to be the worst recession that's upcoming. But what's upcoming? We're already in a recession. But we don't get the title of actually being in a recession until the National Bureau of Economic Research says so, because they're the ones that call the shots. They're the ones that analyze all the data that comes in at the end of the year, and they decide, okay, we were in a recession for this long. They come up with all the numbers and they present that to us from 10 to 12 months from now, and they're going to declare that these months were a recession. First quarter, we had a decline of 1.6%, and the next quarter, a decline of 0.6%. So even if we're in a recession now, we won't know until probably next year. So all the recessions after 1945 to 2020 lasted an average of 10 months. So they don't even last long, okay? And plus, our economy is still strong compared to other countries. So don't forget that. If you actually look at the data, and you'll see that our economy is still going strong. Yes, and unemployment is literally at an all-time low. Wages are growing, and they're not growing kind of like outpacing inflation, but hey, at least they're growing. It's gonna recover sooner than we think. And with all the news media outlets, they really piss me off, and this happens in all financial markets. Trust me, I've been investing for at least 5-6 years now, and let me tell you, these news media outlets, few companies actually own majority of the news outlets. So they want to put in fear in people's heads and minds, so they pull out of markets and they give space for investors to come in, and they snatch up all the properties. And right now, you guys, investors are buying. They're not saying, oh, there's going to be a crash. They don't care about that. So it's the ordinary person like us who gets affected. Before the mass ever finds out that we're in a recession, we're already, likely starting to recover at that time. Okay. So, and experts are predicting that interest rates are going to continue to rise through the rest of this year because the economy is not slowing down as much as the Fed wants it to slow down. Okay, there's still people spending. Yeah, spending has gone down a little bit, but it's not up to par with what they want. So if you look at the 30-year fixed mortgage rate in the US, you can see that the interest rates have been literally dirt cheap. You can see that we have almost been bottomed out, and we're starting to go on an uptrend again. Like a big probability that interest rates are going to continue to rise. Taking into factor how high the inflation rate is, this is all the Fed's fault. They're the ones that create inflation, and they're the ones that essentially start recessions and end recessions. So this is typically what we see that the Fed does. It's not fair, but this is just the way of them taking control of the economy. That's why I always tell people that you can buy right now, and you can always refinance after you've made 6 payments to your mortgage, and then that way, if the interest rates ever drop, then you can always refinance. You can, if you're ready to buy a home, go ahead. Don't let the news and media outlets scare you. Housing is getting expensive every single year. I talk to so many people who literally apply for homes that are maybe not the most expensive, like $300,000, $400,000 homes, and they're like, no, we wanted a $600,000 homes. I think we're gonna wait a year and try again. If you're gonna wait a year, you better have another sources of income or other side hustles to make up for the appreciation and any interest rate that has risen. So your buying power is slightly going to die if you want the same house and your income is staying almost the same. A lot of times people want to wait because they don't qualify for as much home. You guys, that is the most insane thing I've heard. If you are mentally, physically ready to be a homeowner and take on that responsibility and start paying towards an asset versus paying towards somebody else's asset, then you need to go ahead and start, because it starts from somewhere. The first home that you are going to buy, it's not going to be the best, okay? But it's going to put you in a position to buy that best home for you. And the U.S. growth of home values outpaces that of incomes at a exponential rate. Look at the median home income values and look at the house appreciation values. Every year, it is becoming harder and harder for the average American to own a home. And it's going to continue to go like this, okay? It's not going to make a turnaround anytime soon. And if you guys don't know that 15% of homes that were bought in 2021 were by institutional investors, and by 2030, it is predicted that 40% of single family homes are going to be owned by investors. They are pricing us out of the market. Real estate helps you build wealth. For the ordinary person, if you have real estate, you are in an asset class of in itself. 10 to 15 years from now is going to be very difficult to own, and we're seeing this in real time by the numbers that I just showed you guys. It is literally projected that 40%, that is a lot, that's almost half. This is the time where investors go in and they snag everything, and then the prices start to go up. Like I said, we're in a recession, correct? So what happens after a recession? Economic boom. There are people here renting for $3,000, $4,000 a month, and they're just doing this for this year only because of the oh-so recession, and they're just not ready, which is totally fine, understandable. When we come out of recession, things just get more and more expensive. Like I said, owning a home is an asset class in and of itself that is going to be very hard to acquire in the coming 10 to 15 years. So even right now, I tell my people, if you are applying for a $300,000 home, if that is what you qualify for right now, you better be thankful that you even qualify. And you better get on with that home, because let me tell you something. You take the profits that you made from a home and you can put that down for your next house, which is going to be better, and the next house is going to be better. And that's how you build your dream home. That's how you get to your goal of acquiring that dream home. So especially first-time home buyers, that's what they really get discouraged about. By the way, you guys, and if you want to talk more about this, or you want to talk about your options and what you could qualify for, or if you need any help with anything, all my contacts will be down in the description box below. And again, I'm not just a snobby real estate agent trying to get my commission. No, that is far from the truth. I like to help people and make people aware of the current situation that we're in, because, you know, a lot of times we're not taught this stuff in school. We're not taught financial literacy. We're not taught about buying a home. We're not taught about building wealth. People are so worked up in their day-to-day lives that they don't often pay attention to where they should be allocating their money. So if you start as early as possible, and I tell my youngins that in the 20s, they're going to be set. If you own properties and work your way towards any type of real estate investments, especially in your 20s, you are going to be set. By the way, so if you guys like this video, then please make sure to leave a like and hit the subscribe. Check out my other videos where I talk about all the other cities in the Dallas-Fort Worth area and other facts about the real estate market. So if you guys are interested in that, then make sure to check it out, and I will see you guys in my next video.